You know, we all think we know Italian food. But what if I told you that everything we picture, the checkered tablecloths, the giant plates of spaghetti, is just scratching the surface? Today, we're going to dig into the real story of Italian food. And it's not a tale of one single kitchen. It's a tale of 20.
So, let me ask you something. When I say Italian food, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Go on, really picture it. I bet for most of us, a few very specific and very delicious dishes come to mind almost instantly.
Are you thinking of a hot, cheesy pizza? Maybe a big old bowl of pasta? Of course. And look, those things are amazing, don't get me wrong, but they're just one tiny slice of a much, much bigger and more fascinating culinary story.
And here it is, the single most important idea we're going to talk about today. There is really no such thing as Italian food. I know, crazy, right? What we call one cuisine is actually this beautiful, complex mosaic of 20 completely distinct regional food cultures, each one with its own history, its own ingredients, and its own soul.
So, how in the world did this happen? Well, it's a story that's been cooking for thousands of years. See, after the Roman Empire fell, Italy wasn't Italy. It was a collection of separate city-states and kingdoms. For centuries, they all developed their own ways of cooking, in their own little bubbles. So by the time Italy finally became one country in the 1800s, those super local food identities were already completely baked in. Now, the biggest culinary divide in Italy, by far, is between the north and the south. Seriously, it's like two different worlds. The north, with its Alpine influence and history of wealth, developed a cuisine of prosperity. The south, historically poorer and soaked in that Mediterranean sun, created a cuisine of pure resourcefulness. Just look at the most basic ingredient. The north cooks with butter, while the south relies on olive oil. That one difference tells you almost everything you need to know.
Okay, let's start our culinary tour. Up in the north, the wealthy, industrial heartland of the country. This is where the food gets richer, heavier, and, well, really decadent.
Up here, geography is everything. You're right up against the Alps, bordering France and Austria, and you can totally taste that in the cooking. The landscape is full of lush green pastures, which are perfect for cattle. And what does that mean? It means the food is loaded with rich butter, cream, and incredible cow's milk cheeses. Meat is king here, and you're way more likely to find a creamy polenta or a rich risotto on your plate than a bowl of pasta.
And that brings us to the absolute perfect example of northern cooking, risotto. This creamy, buttery, cheesy rice dish is the heart and soul of Milan's cuisine. And trust me, it is a million miles away from the tomato-based dishes we usually associate with Italy.
All right, let's head down the boot a little into the rolling hills and ancient farmlands of central Italy. Here, the entire philosophy changes. It's all about simplicity and letting amazing ingredients shine.
Here, the landscape is the head chef. You've got these stunning vineyards and olive groves that have been there forever, so naturally, olive oil is the star. The food isn't fussy at all, it's rustic, it's hearty, and it's seasoned simply, often with just fresh herbs. Central Italy is also famous for its livestock, especially pork, which gives us some of the most unbelievable cured meats on the planet.
And the signature dish that sums it all up, it has to be tortellini from Bologna. These tiny hand-stuffed pasta parcels are a true labor of love. They perfectly represent the region's obsession with craftsmanship and incredible local ingredients like pork and cheese.
Okay, for our final stop, we're heading all the way down to the vibrant, sun-drenched south. Now, this is the Italy a lot of us picture in our minds, but its amazing food was born from a very different history.
Historically, the south was the poorest part of Italy, and its food is built on a philosophy called cucina povera, which means peasant cooking. But really, it's the art of turning simple, humble ingredients into pure magic. The rugged land isn't great for cattle, so you get these amazing cheeses from sheep, goats, and water buffalo instead. Yep, that's where mozzarella comes from. And what the South has in abundance is sunshine, which means the world's best tomatoes, eggplants, and incredible seafood from that long, beautiful coastline. And what's the ultimate symbol of the South's genius? Come on, it's pizza, straight from Naples. It is the perfect example of cucina povera. Just think about it. A simple, cheap flatbread topped with the best local ingredients. Tomatoes, mozzarella, basil. It's simple, it's brilliant, and it has completely taken over the world.
So we've seen just how different the food is from north to south. So what is it that ties it all together? Well, it turns out there are a few core principles, like an unwritten food code, that connect this very divided kitchen.
No matter where you go in Italy, a few things are just sacred. 1. Wine is not just a drink, It is part of the meal itself. 2. Olive oil is the flavor foundation of the entire country. 3. A proper meal always ends with a shot of espresso, never with your food. And 4. Starch is king. The whole meal is built around pasta, or pizza, or polenta, or bread. These are the absolute cornerstones.
So, here's the big idea to take away from all this. When you look at an Italian menu, you aren't just looking at food. You are reading a history book. That creamy risotto tells a story of northern wealth and influence. That simple, perfect pizza tells a story of southern resilience and creativity. Every single plate is a taste of the country's amazing, complex past.
And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. If a country's food really does tell its story, then Italy is telling us a story of incredible diversity, of creativity born from both poverty and prosperity, and of a deep, unshakable connection to the land. So the next time you sit down for an Italian meal, just ask yourself, what story is on my plate?